On this beautiful planet, there are certain plants that are called master plants in the shamanic traditions, in the indigenous cultures, and they can teach us great lessons. And so today we're going to talk about some of the shamanic secrets or lessons that one of these plants has taught me. Aloha, my friends, and welcome. My name is Garth Wolves, if we're just meeting, and today we're going to talk about the shamanic lessons from the master plant rose. Now, there are these things called master plant dietas. I've made a video and I've already talked about it a bit, but the short version of it is that you go on a very extreme diet where you're actually removing all things that give you stimulus out of yourself. So usually it's no TV, no social media, kind of like a dopamine fast, but then you're also removing any sugars, salts, red meats, a lot of any high herbs or spices in food, no cannabis, no alcohol, some of these master plant dietas, depending on who's running them, if you go to some of the shamanic traditions in Peru, some of them allow you to read books, some of them don't. And so we'll dive into that as I go through master plants. But this one was called Rose, and it was not the first one I did, but part of the diet that you're doing is that you're taking a tea. Either you're smoking the herb and taking a tea, or you're just taking a tea or some kind of liquid of the herb. And that is your only stimulant. That is the only thing that is giving you serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin. Any of that is only coming from that plant. So even the food you're eating is very bland, like quinoa, rice, like straight, whatever fish you might have got caught that day, chicken if you're lucky, a potato, if you're really special, maybe even a boiled egg. We're talking that bland, that a boiled egg is like an exciting thing. So you're drinking this tea every day, or maybe sometimes twice a day, once before bed, once before in the morning. And when I worked with Rose, now it was an amazing experience because Rose is this beautiful, plant. It's this beautiful plant that we have. Has beautiful thorns, has beautiful flowers, has lots of different colors of rose that actually exist in the world, and has been different over time as things have gone on. But there's a little bit of a story that Rose taught me, and so I'm going to share that story with you as we go into it, and then pull the lessons from that. And so, as Rose, this beautiful energy that she is, was floating through the universe and the galaxy, and then began carnating in a physical form, began coming to life on different planets and different so forth in a physical way. She ran into some difficulties right away. There were some times where she would get to grow fully to her fullest extent and blossom her beautiful rose, and that was wonderful. But part of her wanting to blossom her rose is that it's just part of who she is. Her natural vibration is to be this beautiful rose and to present this beautiful aroma to the world. And then if people choose to smell it, they have it. If you choose to smoke her, it's very relaxing. It's very powerful. It gives you a lot of like relaxation, but then kind of heals your internal fire and can help fuel that fire so you can rest and then arise again with great power. You can have it in a tea and actually will kind of boost up your energy in the middle of the day. So it's not really a tea you drink at night, like Blue Lotus would be, but you can smoke rose at night and it'll relax you. But if you drink the tea in the morning, it gives you a little bit of energy. Not quite like caffeine, but more of that internal fire, that solar plexus fire that kind of burst forth from there, that kind of fire energy. And so she's has this beautiful gifts to offer the world. But what would happen is that most of the time when she would go to these planets and incarnate, two main things would happen. Is that either before she had to blossom, so the rose would come up and it would still be in its bulb form, still closed, animals would eat it, or she would get stepped on. Or before she even got big enough for those blossoms to be there, as just tiny little plants, she'd get stepped on or pushed out of the way. And then if she ever did get fully blossomed out, she would blossom in an area where there was nobody to enjoy it, where it was either in very far away areas from any other life forms, or on places where there were mostly aerial creatures, where they were up in the trees, and so they weren't concerned with the things down there, and didn't really play much of a role. And so this kind of brought her some sadness. And this whole time, she is this beautiful energy, this female spirit, but has a lot of feminine energy. And she starts to get a little frustrated, and then she realizes that there's always been this part of herself, this deeper part of herself, this masculine energy within her that she'd been denying. And she knew it was there, but she was like, no, I'm a rose. I'm beautiful. I'm feminine. I don't have any masculine energy. And that's the thing. Everything has masculine and feminine energy in it. Masculine is not male and feminine is not female. Everything has masculine and feminine energy within it. And so even though she's a female spirit, per se, she has a lot of feminine energy, she realized there's a masculine part of her. So she chose to work with that masculine energy and she gave into it and stopped denying that part of herself, even with some fear of like not knowing what was going to happen, and realized that it was this divine, gentle, powerful, true, harmonic masculine energy that actually allowed her to have more colors that she could blossom into, allowed her plant to grow bigger and stronger. And then also, instead of just being a straight vine, she could have a bush that could come with it and the vine that would come out and have the blossoms on it. And she got thorns. This is where her power of thorns came from, something to protect her. And she understood the true balance between masculine and feminine is that masculine energy plays its role. It has structure, it serves drive, it has purpose, it helps things grow straight and strong. The sun is very masculine energy and she needs the sun to grow, but also it can protect the feminine. So one of the roles, it's not the only role of masculine, but part of the journey of masculine energy is that masculine energy is to hold the boundaries, to hold the container so firmly and so protectively that the female, not sorry, not the female, the feminine energy can blossom fully, just like the rose can blossom into its full glory, its full beauty, give all of its purposes of aroma, and have the opportunity to be moved into something else if it needs to, or even if it passes away into fertilization, part of the circle of life, and to serve its truest purpose, its highest desire, the energy that excites it the most, and its purpose of why it chose to incarnate in the first place. It needed the masculine energy to protect it so it could grow fully. And now we have rose as it is, and it's one of those, even romantic things that's given to people, and yes, every rose has its thorns, but it has its thorns to make it beautiful. And so the lesson you can pull from this is look at your own masculine and feminine energy. Are you leaning into one more than the other and denying it? And maybe not even masculine and feminine energy, but is there an aspect of you that you're denying, a part of yourself you're denying, a part of you you're labeling as bad or evil, or even this concept of killing the ego is misguided because you can't kill the ego. It's a part of you. You're alive. It's who you are. If you killed the ego, you wouldn't eat food anymore. You wouldn't breathe anymore. You wouldn't have a desire to do anything in life anymore. So there's the disharmonic ego that can be dissolved, that can be recapitulated into something new, and then there is the harmonic ego that gives us good drive and so forth. And so you can look at yourself and like, what parts of you are you denying? What parts of you could you give more love to? Could you give more forgiveness to? Give more strength and allow that energy to come out in you and blossom. And if it's an energy that doesn't serve, as it blossoms, you'll recognize that it's a weed or it's something that doesn't serve, and you can cast it out and you can remove it then. But you don't know until you give it the awareness that it deserves to grow. You can't shift anything if you don't give it awareness. So what aspects of you are denying? Maybe to get out a journal and journal about it, or take some time and meditate about it, or flip on your phone camera. You don't even have to record yourself, but you can just have the camera shooting up in the sky so you can hear your voice, but talk to yourself about what aspects are you denying? What parts of you are you saying are not good enough? What is your negative self-talk? That might be part of it. And then look at your boundaries. What kind of boundaries do you hold in life? And realize boundaries, like you could view that Rose got hurt and she was offended and she got tired of being picked on and eaten and killed. And so she chose to grow thorns as a revengeful, I have thorns now and I will protect myself. Or you can look at it for where it really was and the true energy of it, of a balanced energy of masculine and feminine, a balanced self giving true boundaries. So when you do look at your boundaries, one, do you need to set better boundaries? Do you need to reanalyze your boundaries? And I highly recommend you do reanalyze your boundaries, even if you have good boundaries, and look at where are those boundaries coming from. Are they coming from the way that somebody else treated me in the past, and so I've created this boundary? Are they coming from a place of hurt, where I'm hurt, so I create this boundary, and this is now how it is? Or I'm just so high vibe, and this person is not raising their vibe, so here's the boundary, you can't be like this. Or because other people talked to me negatively in the past, The moment somebody says anything that triggers a memory of someone in that past, I must be getting a download of that energy, and this person must now be blocked and must be cut out, and I cannot trust them. It's like, no, relook at your boundaries and set boundaries from a healthy standpoint, from a true intention. A boundary like the thorns of a rose, to allow the blossom to flow, but not in a way where it's like people can't be there. Not in a way of like, I'm doing this because I'm hurt and I'm trying to hide myself and stay within my things, like fully into the light. So those are the two challenges I have for you: is meditate or journal in some way about what aspects of you are denying of yourself, and look at your boundaries, and where did your boundaries get set? Do you need better boundaries, and are your current boundaries set out of fear and hurt, or are they set out of love and kindness for yourself? So with that, hopefully you can stop any negative self-talk. Interested in diving into some group coaching where we dive a whole bunch deeper onto a lot of concepts that truly shift your life to help you thrive, you can click the link down below. So here's the video up here that you could also watch. That's awesome. Peace, love, drink more water, get more sunlight. Have a great day. Namaste.